Hi everyone, how you going? Just a quick one tonight. I'll just wait for the notification to come through. Give it a couple of minutes to catch up. As I know I'm here, but yeah. Oh, right. Notifications. So, in the Hinkler region, the cashless debit card applies to youth allowance, job seeker, parenting payment partnered, and parenting payment single. That is the trigger payment list for the cashless debit card in the Hinkler region in Queensland. Okay, so we've got a person who has had his job seeker payment cancelled and has moved over to carer payment and carer allowance. Instead of being exited off the cashless debit card, he's found that all of his money has gone on the Indu card for his carer payment and his carer allowance. Now, they're in breach because carer allowance is one thing, but carer payment in the Hinkler region is not a trigger payment to go on the card. The excuse is that he's under 35. That's rubbish. There's nothing in the legislation to say that, right? Parent has posted to the Hinkler page. I've posted the relevant links that show the DSS trigger payments and also the DSS front page website that makes it clear which payments are on it. The only time that carer allowance goes on it is if you're on another payment like job seeker or youth allowance and receiving carer allowance, right? Then the carer allowance goes on it at 100%. But when you're on carer payment, formerly known as carer pension, you're not on the card. He's no longer on a trigger payment. So therefore, when he rang up, he should have been exited. Instead, no, they don't want to do it. So we're going to help him fight. You know what I mean? This is disgusting. So the comment is, my son was on job seeker and is under 35. Today he became a carer of a terminal patient and today was his first payment. All of it went to the Indu card. He rang them and they said carers under 35 were a trigger payment. He is applying for exemption. I thought carers in this region were exempt regardless of age. They are. So somebody is trying it on. So we've put in the comments who she needs to ring. And she needs to ring them tomorrow. And they need to put their foot down and say, no, I'm not on a trigger payment. End this. Right? You know, instead of going through the opt-out. He shouldn't even have to go through the opt-out process. This should be automatic now. He rings up, says, I'm no longer on job seeker. It can be verified by Services Australia. He's been granted his carer payment and carer allowance. No longer on a trigger payment for the region. That's easy to verify, very easy to check up, and then bingo. Reverse whatever money's left in his card back to his account and, well, supposedly close the account, but they never seem to close the accounts. Sneaky, aren't they? They're really sneaky, right? His job seeker payment was cancelled and he was granted carer allowance and full carer payment. This is not good enough. And Ruston, pull your finger out, right? And train your staff better. Because I know that you've got new staff that don't know it, a bit green at the moment. But come on, they need to know which areas, who's on what in each region. The basics. God, I don't even work for you and I know it all. How come I know it and your staff don't? It's disgusting. Right? This is cruel. It's illegal. You're in breach of your own legislation. And, yeah. You know, it's ridiculous what they're doing to people. This person is no longer on a trigger payment. So therefore, when he rang up, instead of being told, oh no, right, and having all his money transferred, all of it, onto the card, it should have been transferred to his bank account, his own personal bank account, and the card cancelled. Frustrating, eh? They don't quit. Anyway, we will support this family the best we can, give them all the information that they need, and Services Australia, get your act together. You know, you're that desperate to keep people hooked onto the system, right? Not good enough. Not good enough. You know, you can't just make it up as you go along. You can't just change it willy-nilly. The trigger payments are set there in the legislation, on your web pages, on your site, on the DSS site. Stick to it. Anyway, I want to say goodnight. And, yeah, hopefully nothing else goes wrong. After yesterday's little stunts of the card not working in various different places, it got worse in Kalgoorlie. It wasn't working in Bundaberg and all sorts. So, yeah. It amazes me what this... They're just incompetent. They're incompetent. What can you do? But I hope they can get him off of it really quick. Anyway, good night, people.